welcome all. Episode 8 here of the Jewelers Podcast. As always, I have my good friends Agentic State and Squanchy with me here today. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Yep, mad respect to the moms out there. Just a beautiful night here in Dallas area, so can't complain and looking forward to this podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mavs get the dub today. I know you two were happy about that. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yes,
Luca
sir.
looked good.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. We got a bunch of new stuff here in the kingdom this week. Do want to preface, of course, by saying this video is not financial advice. These are all just our opinions and our opinions only. And this video is strictly meant for entertainment purposes only as well. We highly suggest you to do your own research on all your investments. But now getting back to the video, we're going to start here today with some CRYSTALVALE news. A lot of people in the community were wondering, some of them concerned, but me personally, I mean, it's not a big deal, but CRYSTALVALE heroes are here. Bridging is available to bridge heroes as well as Gaia tiers. Now, people were somewhat upset that it happened before PvP, PvE, pets, equipment, other things like that. What do you guys feel about this? Are you guys happy to see CRYSTALVALE heroes here so early? What are you guys' thoughts?
Man, I'm happy that CRYSTALVALE is open, and I don't have any proof of this, but I think the team just said, hey, we need to keep producing stuff, and it seems a lot easier for them to just copy and paste and get these contracts up in CRYSTALVALE. You know, yield farming is pretty simple to set up. Those farms, they've already built out on Harmony, so just porting them over to AVAX probably a lot easier than setting up the egg hatching and the PvP stuff, so I think the team's just like, look, we can pump this out. Let's get it out. And they got that out while PvP, PvE is still being worked on. But I'm happy. Whatever they roll out, it's fine. I just want more content coming out. And I like the new summoning, the Berserker, the Seer, and the advanced class. I forget what it's called right now. But I like all those. And I think, we're going to see everything roll out here on CRYSTALVALE, and it's gonna look good.
This was something somebody brought up at, in our Discord, and they're not the only people that are I guess frustrated. So that people are frustrated that there's not more hero utility, right? There's not there's no combat. There's no real game outside of just clicking the quests. And I get it. This people. I've gotten quest fatigue. Everybody has that's been playing this game, and it's a grind. But you're getting money. You're getting rewards for doing it. They're adding hero utility. But CRYSTALVALE was an opportunity for them to go cross chain and get a bigger market in the AVAX community to bring in more funds so they can accelerate other processes in the game. Maybe they can accelerate quest making for PvE. Maybe they can accelerate PvP on AVAX with CRYSTALVALE in already created. So I'm not frustrated with the order of which they've done this. I think it was a good opportunity for the team to create CRYSTALVALE and introduce the game to the AVAX chain. But I do see the frustration. But I mean, I look forward. I want it. The thing to me is that obviously this team has multiple departments, right? It's not like the whole team was working on CRYSTALVALE and nobody was working on PvP, PvE. Content. There was a right. There was a department that was working on CRYSTALVALE, and they may have just been working faster. You do not want the team to rush PvP, PvE. You want this to be a killer product. The whole project, the balance of the value of the project is a lot of it weighs on PvP, PvE. You do not want them to rush this and have it be shitty. You want it to be something truly, exceptional piece of art, and you want it to be really fun to play. So I kind of give the devs some grace when it comes to PvP, PvE development. And I think Crystal Vale's beautiful, and I think that it really does. I think I think it was a good move by the team, and I understand why they did it. Your thoughts, Mega?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree 100% here. Now, the one thing that I want to bring up that I think could also play into uh, this releasing what feels to be kind of early is the fact that even though it's on a new chain, most of the coding is hopefully pretty easily transferable. You know, I mean, I'm no blockchain expert, but I would assume that most of the code uh, may be a single contract of sorts that you can kind of just transfer and copy paste in a sense over to the AVAX chain. Might not be that simple, but you know what I'm trying to say here. Since things are already done, there might be a few tweaks they have to make in the code, and then it's ready to implement. But for the most part, I would assume some of it is pretty easy to just hop over, bring heroes over. The hard part was probably the bridging code and that type of thing. But as they get these things implemented with other items, heroes, for example, Gaia tiers, it's going to be easier and faster for them to keep putting these other features straight to Crystal Vale, these other features that are already on Serendale and such. So now the shapeshifter class, I think this is amazing. I see you like looking through a few here. These
Yeah, I'm looking
wings,
at their
like these,
value too.
yeah, it's
Like,
insane.
yeah.
I mean, it's fluctuated a lot. It seems like too. I haven't had my eyes glued to the tavern, but I definitely took a few looks early in the day when they first dropped, and man, a lot of
These
people are
orange
valuing them high.
horns, I
Yeah,
really dig
yeah.
them.
Are those new as
Yeah,
well?
I think the color is. I feel like the orange horns. I've never seen that in
It
Serendale,
doesn't
so
look
I think that's
familiar.
yeah.
Some of it's crazy, but I think they did great. I think like to your point about PvP, let them take their time. I mean, this is a feature that's gonna be crucial to the game's ecosystem and bring a lot of players in. So you want this to be perfect. You don't want it to roll out, have a bunch of bugs, them to to completely mess up the launch, you know what I mean, and not bring as many people as it potentially could if it's done perfect. That's at least how I feel, and I think that's echoing what you said here, Agentic. But now continuing on the Gen Zero topic, we have the rerolls. This is also another highly coveted topic in the community currently. Um, People are either loving it or hating it, also dependent on if you have a Gen Zero. Now, I personally don't mind. I don't think this is too groundbreaking of a thing. Some people disagree, but is this going to potentially cause hero inflation? What does this do to the summoning costs? What do you guys think Gen Zero rerolls will do to the ecosystem here?
Squanch, you want to go on this first, or
I'll let you. I think you
okay?
have more education on the topic. I think you're going to have a
Okay,
better point than me on this one.
got it. All right. So for those that don't know, those that held Serendale Gen Zeros, they had the opportunity to re-roll their Gen Zero subclass, recessive traits, and features. And you could do one of three, two of three, or all three. And you got rewarded more for doing all three. And the rewards were scaled. Essentially, the reward was the biggest part of the reward is that summoning with your Gen Zero started back down at 6 Joule per summon for your Gen Zero, and then scaled up to where it cost again after 90 summons. After doing 90 summons with the Gen Zero, it then will cost 30 Joule every summon after that, and it will also it you have to wait over 24 hours, I believe, after 90 or after 90 summons to summon again with your Gen 0. I want to say maybe it's 2 or 3 days. I don't know. I don't own a Gen 0. But it's been hard for Gen 0s to be as profitable after 90 summons. Rerolling allows you to get that, get some of that value back where you can summon super cheap and sell your, the Gen 1 10 out of 10s that you summon, it may only cost 6 jewel or 12 jewel to produce that 10 of 10 Gen 1, and you sell it for 70 or 80 jewel, depending on the class and how many summons or in other features. But I am not against it. I think it's I think that the team needs to find ways to keep Gen Zeros sought after. And I know a lot of people argue that it's only making the rich richer. I mean, we want the Gen Zeros to be valuable. The more valuable the Gen Zeros are, the more valuable heroes will be in general. And as far as I'm concerned, heroes are a big part of this game. And also with the new quests coming out, now we have training quests in Serendale. We're gonna have quests in CRYSTALVALE. We all are gonna need more heroes. We're gonna need, we're gonna need to double our hero count to have the same production in quests in CRYSTALVALE as we are in Serendale. So I don't think hero inflation's an issue at the moment. Not saying it can't be, but at the moment I think we're fine with what CRYSTALVALE is going to bring to the table with the amount of quests that we're going to have to do in CRYSTALVALE. And another thing is these heroes that are being summoned in CRYSTALVALE, I mean, they're overpriced. So inflation is not I mean, granted these are Gen Zeros, but I mean, even if you look at I mean, the cheapest one is 99.96 crystal, for the new classes. So I don't think we're hitting inflation really, and I don't think we will anytime soon. Your thoughts, Mega?
Yeah, in my opinion, I don't mind this. Again, I don't have a Gen Zero either. Um, I think this overall is. I don't think we have a hero inflation problem at all. If anything, I think more heroes is kind of beneficial. And I honestly didn't know that about it resetting the cost. So that's good info there. It kind of reminds me of almost like a prestige in Call of Duty, just resetting your summons back so you can earn, in essence, a little different here because you're actually earning money, obviously, but you're able to earn that summon income potentially, or even income from the summon in general. But that's pretty sweet. So, but I don't think this is bad for hero inflation. I think one of the big things that's going to drive. I think we need to have the floor down in all honesty, especially if heroes are going to be monumental for playing PvP and such. One of the biggest modes to drive new users to the game. I think the floor is going to have to be down a little bit for that. Not drastic, but and I think having a meta once PvP comes out will drive hero the floor of the hero down a little bit, just to show who's really the bottom level heroes. I feel like it'll define the meta a little bit better and define the floor a little bit better. But overall, I don't think it's bad at all.
Yeah, let me
yeah.
real quick. I want to clarify why the team allowed the rerolls. The rerolls were needed essentially because if we did not have Serendale rerolls, the rerolls are adding the subclass in the Serendale Gen Zeros for Seer and Berserker. So that way you could have Serendale Gen Zeros actually be able to summon recessively the Seer and Berserker class. And also the new features that were brought in Serendale, if you re-rolled those features with your Gen Zero heroes, you could also get those features. That way, the Seers and Berserkers and those features wouldn't be so rare. If they only had Seer, or if they didn't have Seer and Berserker traits in Serendale Gen Zeros, and they were only existed in the Gen Zeros in CRYSTALVALE, then we would have a really, really rare basic class and rare features. And the team was, they had a plan with these rerolls with incentives, so that way there was less rarity amongst the features. So that way they would be priced more appropriately sooner. Anyway, sorry, Squanch. Your thoughts?
No, I was going to say the same thing. Like, this had to be done. I think the team did a good job of keeping it balanced and giving incentives to reroll. Because let's say you did own a Gen Zero and you did decide to reroll. Well, there's a chance you could have rolled less desirable traits than you had before. So there had to be incentive for them to take that risk. But I think overall, this is, it had to be done. It's part of the back end mechanics of the game, and yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal. And the Gen Zero reroll to me and it was optional. Ultimately, it was optional for Gen Zero holders. So not sure what the uproar in the community was. I mean, I guess they're like, well, now heroes are cheaper to summon. We're going to have more hero inflation. Well, yeah, but ultimately, once we get users in here, heroes shouldn't be too bad. Still, where are we at now? Like 200,000 heroes? I'm not even sure, but
I think we're at, well, looks like, here 190. So we're closing in on 200,000, but yeah, it looks like we're in the about 190,000 area.
Yep. So there you go. So I think we're fine with heroes, and look, heroes are cheap right now. I mean, cheap as they've ever been. At least
and Sarandale.
Yeah. These new heroes, we talked about how I was going to get one. No, I'm holding out on the Berserker and the Seer and the Shapeshifter here. I'll get some, but man, I'm just gonna wait. I think they'll come down. I think they'll be cheap as Sarandale heroes eventually.
Yeah, it makes sense that they should meet in price. Anyway, Mega, you want to take control for the next topic?
Yeah, so next here, we're going to get into the action plan that was implemented here by DefiKingdoms. This is absolutely amazing. Agentic, you were going to do a quick overview of this, right?
Yeah. So for those that didn't listen to the action plan that the team they dropped a podcast on the DeFi Kingdom channel, and I'm calling it a podcast, but anyway, it was on Thursday, I believe, maybe Friday. I lost track of time. Anyway, the team presented their action plan for the near future here, and I was really, really happy with what I heard. So the team talked about Kingdom Studios and how they've developed this entity so they could be more legit. Essentially, they are putting a business headquarters in Delaware. They're creating offshore accounts in Panama, et cetera, et cetera. And they're going to have a real payroll, for their employees. They won't have a bunch of contractors. And they're going to have an internal law team. So they'll have internal lawyers that will deal with regulations and laws in other countries, that will deal with regulation and laws in crypto, that will deal with regulation and laws in the US and different states. I mean, you got to have a team to keep up with this stuff if you want to be on the up and up, and you don't want to get hit with, certain fines or, overstepping, certain boundaries in other places. And it will help you know where to expand and where to put your efforts. So they have a board of directors. If you did not hear, so I know that Mr. Fawn, Fox, Dreamer, I know those three are on the board of directors. I can't recall if they named anybody else but they did say that the members that are the board of directors will not have. They're going to have a multi-sig wallet for the community quest funds or the jewel quest funds, and none of the board of directors will have any part of that multi-sig wallet. So the board of directors will be separate, totally, completely separated from the funds, from the Quest Fund, with the community, which I think is, it's demonstrating high trust, and this just indicates to me that this thing is, everybody that was talking, rug, this project is shady, sketchy, just a week ago or whatever, where they were overreacting and, fudding the project. I mean, how many projects in the crypto spaces are doing this? Only the ones that are big chains, only projects that are the size of AVAX, or like projects in the top 100, on CoinGecko are doing this. Not even all of them probably, but that's the type of projects that legitimize, and they want to legitimize, and they specified this. They want to become a legitimate entity so they can be more official, to collaborate with gaming companies, to collaborate with other crypto companies, they look like a more professional organization. And that's one reason they dox themselves as well, is because companies are going to be very skeptical to work with you if you're not even willing to share your identity. Well, now they've come out and shared their identities, to show goodwill with companies that would want to collaborate. There could be a lot of gaming companies that want to collaborate with DefiKingdoms and use this NFT utility. So I think it's just a super bullish thing, and it only can be good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the team, ever since all this FUD that came out over the past weeks, has done a really good job overall in the response to it. I feel like this action plan is a good thing. One thing that I believe that they mentioned in the action plan was that they'd have internal audits and they'd make sure that devs' wallets, they're not. Yeah, they're watching that more closely now. They're going to keep an eye on that, and I know that's a big debate topic for the community. I think it always will be, whether these devs should be allowed to play or not. I think that's always going to be back and forth in the community. But it feels like the team's answered well, and I'm glad that they're going to do internal audits and make sure devs aren't doing anything too shady. So all of it, I'm with you, Agentic. I think it's bullish. I think the team's done a great job of responding to this FUD, and I think they're all headed in the right direction.
Yeah, just they said, just like they have right now, they have a smart contract auditing, third-party auditing agency that audits their smart contracts. They're going to have an audit agency to audit the developers' wallets, to make sure that they're not liquidating too much at certain percentage downs and percentage ups and so forth. So that way the price isn't as impacted. Which is, that's good news. They're trying to do what's best for the community, right? So just more bullish news. And also they did say they were going to hire compliance officers, to monitor this, to make sure the team's compliant with all the rules set. So again, just good news. Your thoughts, Mega?
Yeah, absolutely bullish. I think all this is a plus. You mentioned just now the compliance officers. That's amazing. Doxing, huge. I think getting in front and again being transparent with the community it'll go a long way. A real payroll, that's awesome as well. Offshore accounts, that's pretty cool. And then the internal law team, that is huge in my opinion. Regulations are a must in the crypto space, especially as it evolves. You want to stay ahead of the curve and not be caught by the tail end of it, So this is absolutely amazing. Just yet again, while the fire's hot and everything is going on, and the community is in somewhat chaos from some ends, this is just the team fighting back with just only good news, in all honesty. So I love to see it. Like I said, bullish again. This is great. Do you guys have any other final thoughts on this topic, or can I move on?
I'm good with moving on.
Good. I'm just gonna say I'm happy the team is docs, and I'm happy with the response.
For sure. An amazing response from the team. So our next topic here that we're going to get into is the Stone Carver, another feature soon to be implemented into the game. Now, he's not visible in the map, correct?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay,
They
making
just they
sure.
they teased him in the last AMA.
Right. So a new AMA recent teaser that's going to be dropped here eventually. Pretty cool. Overall, I didn't I wasn't able to watch the whole AMA, but I caught overall a summary. So I did miss if they mentioned anything too deep about the stone carver, but I think this is pretty cool. I mean, just for example, like imagine you could potentially, just thinking off the top of my head, like take up 5 runes, the regular level 1 column Shavas runes, and upgrade them into the newer level 2 Moksha runes. So could be pretty cool for a small jewel cost or something like that. Just yet another thing in the ecosystem. You're gonna need those runes eventually, and I don't think you can quest for them just yet. CRYSTALVALE quests potentially are on the way as well, but I don't think you can quest just yet for Moksha runes or obtain them any other way than community giveaways or like the Perilous Journey type of thing. So, what do you guys think about the Stone Carver? Pretty interesting stuff coming soon.
Yeah, so with the stone carver, they dropped the teaser of him in the AMA, last AMA, and my first thought was that this must be a level 10 quest. Now I'm second guessing that because in the action plan, they actually mentioned the stone carver because they were talking about the NFT utility, more utility, because there's people in the community that have been, speaking out loud that they want more utility with their heroes. And in the action plan, they discuss that they have more plans to bring more utilities to the two heroes, and one thing that will be released soon for that will be the stone carver. So this made me think, oh, he's not actually going to be a level 10 questing NPC. He's going to have, he's going to provide some kind of utility. Maybe it's making weapons. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it's making attunement crystals or something. I have no clue what he's going to do, but it's interesting, and it makes it definitely makes things more exciting to the mystery after the action plan was mentioned definitely intrigued me with what the stone carver is going to bring to Sarandale. So
I don't think it'll be kind of be like the alchemist, where you bring some items and then you could turn them into summoning stones.
ooh, that's a good call. Maybe.
We'll have to see, but I'm excited for the stone carver and all that coming out. I mean, anything new for us to do is just going to be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Did you want to touch on the DFK Arena?
Oh yeah. So I tried this thing out. I switched over just a few heroes over to a separate wallet, and I have a ledger, so I connected to the website directly. I mean,
let's talk about what it is first.
Okay, yeah. If you guys don't know what DFK Arena is, it's a third party, not built by directly through the DFK team. Okay, not by DefiKingdoms Studios. Third party application where we can use our DFK NFTs to go wager and battle against each other. I guess that's the best way for me to sum it up. And it was pretty fun. I did it earlier today. I did 3 battles. All that it does is it brackets your heroes. So you have level 1 through 4. Only levels 1 through 4 can match against each other. And then levels 5 through 10 can match with each other. And then 10 to 14. And they bracket it that way. So, like, if you have a really strong level 4 hero, you might want to milk it, go over to DFK Arena, run up a few wins with it, because, if you once you make it level 5, it could get matched against level 10s and not do as well. So there's some meta there in the game. That's what I noticed. I sent over a few of my heroes. It seems like you're going to want heroes that have decent all-around stats because the way it does is it'll just throw up like strength, and then whichever hero between the two has higher strength does damage to the other. Then it'll throw up like intelligence or luck or wisdom or dexterity. It just throws up random stats, and you hit your opponent by outscoring them in that stat field. So, I did see Franz. Shout out Franz, awesome, huge fan of his. But he tweeted out earlier today. He's like, "Well, what does the DFK Arena team do with the little jewel or little gold that they keep from delegating these wagers, right? Because they're kind of like middlemen, I guess you could call them.
Mm-hmm.
But they facilitate us gambling with our cards, and then they take 5%, and I guess they just liquidate that. The gold and the jewel. I think they want to pay something like that, but either way, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me that they might be dumping on us here when we're playing the game. Like we don't want that to happen there. So it's just interesting to see how gold and jewel is going to be able to be spent with these third-party applications that come up, and what is DFK Studios going to do with those third-party applications that start building up jewel and gold reserves, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But I think the big key takeaway here from DFK Arena is, one, it's kind of cool, but I think the big thing to focus on is like, look at NFTs. Look what you can do with them. A third party can come up, plug up to your NFT, and create a little game or like a side quest. This is pretty cool, and I think it's just the beginning of what we're going to see when it comes to NFT utility, and in particular our hero utility. So, I was playing the game. The game's kind of whatever to me. I don't really care. There's not much strategy behind it, right? So it's not all that in depth or anything like that, but it really did get me excited just thinking about all the possibilities that are there with NFTs and these types of ideas. So it was pretty cool just checking it out and playing it that way. Started out 0-3 though, so I rage quit.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mega. I'll if you want to give your spill, then I'll give my comments on DFK Arena.
That works. Yeah, I mean, I think I think watching that was my first time watching any gameplay, actually. So that was pretty intriguing. Now, the only concern I have, of course, is that it's third party and kind of off what you said, Squanch. If they're dumping on us, it's definitely not something we want. But this is just giving us an idea here of what we're going to feel when we're able to use our heroes and pit them against others. It's going to be awesome. I mean, that was pretty intriguing to see. One thing I did notice, so the fee was 100 gold. That's your wager, but then it also is 0.5 jewel on top of that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just flat every battle.
Yeah.
So
you
got to wager jewel and gold with every battle, and you can choose. There's different amounts of gold you can wager. Like you can wager up to like 30,000 gold and stuff. So the minimum I saw was like 3,000 gold and half a jewel.
Okay.
So right now that's just like $3.
Like
Yes, I think so. I didn't win any, so
Right.
but yeah, I think it doubles your jewel. I think it doubles your jewel and your gold.
They keep 0.1 jewel.
Okay.
They keep 0.1.
So that's their fee.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, obviously they did build this, so I mean, props to them. But if they're just dumping everything in our face, that's not the best way for the ecosystem and the project, and I'm sure the team would go about it a different way. But overall, I think this is a pretty cool feature. If they could potentially get DFK's approval or something, like, and just go ahead, they're A-OK in a sense. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool, but just cool to see our heroes being further utilized. But what's your opinion, Agentic?
My feelings are kind of mixed on it. So when I first saw the DFK Arena, first of all, I'm going to kind of talk about the controversy that the start of the DFK Arena. So for those that don't know, this DFK Arena was when they first opened up their grant project, the DFK team. DFK Arena was one of the first teams to win a grant, but there was a lot of community outrage with how the DFK team went about the grant process. So they retracted their whole grant process, and now they've recently re-released it with the community's input and new community guidelines, so that way essentially the devs aren't influencing the grant process as much, and that it's more unbiased and the community has more say in the grant process, which is a good thing in my opinion. But this DFK Arena team was being heavily uh, touted by the devs and how excited they were, for it. The community obviously was skeptical, and I can see why. Because when I see that gameplay, if I am new to DFK and I don't know much about the project, and I just know like, oh, it's these NFTs that that can battle each other, and I saw that as the gameplay, I would be like, yeah, I'm not getting involved in this. That looks like shit, you know. But that's not the DFK team. But who's going to know that if they're not familiar with the space? People that are new to the DFK space may think that DFK Arena was built by the DFK team, and they've got to be super careful with the branding, because if PvP or PvE looked like that, I would be worried. I'd be worried, guys, because that it looks like the art took a back seat
Graphics are
there.
weak.
Yeah, you
Right.
can
Weak.
tell this is not a DFK project or
Right,
product.
right.
With
Yeah,
everything they've implemented, 100%.
right. Right, yeah, like that art and the mechanics of the player, the NFTs and how they attacked and moved was, it was corny looking. Now, look, I get it. The community's excited that there's finally something to do with their NFTs, and that's great. I'm all for increased NFT utility. And the whole gambling aspect brings excitement to the DFK Arena. What I'm worried about is that people associating DFK Arena with the DFK team and associating that quality with the DFK team. I wish DFK Arena would not be called DFK Arena, but maybe like, I don't know, something other arena, like NFT Battle Arena or something like that. I don't anything that just kind of distance it a little bit from the brand name DFK. And that's my 2 cents. And I expect the actual PvP, actual PvE to look much better than that from the actual DFK team. Not to say that what the DFK Arena team wasn't cool or anything. It's just with how much money that I've invested in the game, I would be disappointed if that's what PvE or PvP turned out looking like. And if I was a new incomer to the game and that was my first exposure to seeing any kind of somewhat combat, I would be skeptical of investing. So that's my thoughts.
Great
Yeah, I think
points,
those are some valid points.
without a doubt. Now, like you said here, once the team brings something that's their own to the project, it's gonna be a whole different story. I think the art is definitely something, a great critique from you there, Agentic, and I can't wait to see what the actual team brings as far as PvP goes. But that's just a little taste of what our heroes can be capable of. Awesome to see. But next topic here, guys, we'll get into some more news from the AMA. Some new teasers for some new pets. As you know, we're all waiting WEN pets. But here's some new. I'll throw them up here on the screen. We have the slimes, the penguins, and then a dragon. But this stuff's amazing. I love to see the pets. I'm really hyped for the pets. I think it's just anticipating what you don't know. We don't know a lot about pets. We've seen a few background cards or whatever you can call it. Heard a little bit, not too much detailed information about what they're going to be, how they're going to be used, what they're specifically going to be used for. But the art, again, as you can see straight from the DFK team, this is immaculate. I'm hyped for these. What do you guys? How do you guys feel about these new pet teasers?
Did
They're cool. Every teaser I've seen for the pets are cool. I like the Black Wolf. I think we covered that. I thought that one was pretty cool. I'm excited for the idea of the penguins, too. But man, dude, I am so ready for freaking pets, dude. I have so many eggs. I'm ready to hatch these babies.
Yeah, the team also mentioned that this is an interesting thing with the pets, an interesting utility. And I'm not sure if they were talking about the slime pets or, for example, but they did show like the slime pets and like the snail looking pets, but they said that you would be able to like kind of uh morph three pets into like a Voltron type pet that, assumingly would be more powerful. So if you get like the blue slime, the green slime, and the yellow slime, they combine to form, mega slime or whatever. I'm just throwing names out there. But that's a utility it seems like they're adding into the pets, which is going to make it's going to make things interesting because people are going to want to collect, these different types of pets so they can form, the megazord of pets. And it's going to increase the value of pets, certain pets. It's going to increase the trading, moving pets, the whole pet economy. So yeah, we may not be able to summon with pets or bring new pets into the game, but I think that the feature of um, combining pets to form, a mega pet is really, really cool. And I guess we'll show those pictures when they're edited in after the podcast. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I'll throw those up for sure for the viewers back home. But again, this is stuff I think we're all super excited about. Um, the even the art we didn't even really get into about the stone carver teaser. That was pretty damn sweet too. You see
we'll
him
edit that in
for
when
sure.
we, yeah.
Yeah, out by the campfire, he's got a little statue. Looks like a gnome carved out of stone. I mean,
Actually,
it's sweet.
actually, I may be able to bring that up right now because I think I sent that. Oh yeah, here we go. We got the pets. Let me see if I can bring this up here.
Yeah, and even these other ones, I'm just now getting at the toad. I mean, we've seen him in I forget which profession it is, but one of the profession's backgrounds. The bigger toad looks like an evolution potentially. I don't know. And then even the variations of the snails. The second photo you posted in the group there. I mean, those are sweet.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
bloater on the
they got
back.
the snail with the bloater on the back. Yes, that's what I was just about to point out. That's so cool.
Knew you'd like that one, Squanch.
See here. Yeah, so this is the stone carver
Yeah,
here.
look at that.
Really good, well done art on that NPC. I like it. Um, and look, he's like. So look, this is another thing here, man. Look, he's like carving like a live looking stone. So are you going to be able to create like a stone pet or ally or something?
Mm.
I don't know. This is interesting.
And maybe
I
like a
I
base level, small, small attribute, small ability, low tier statue straight out of stone. I mean, that'd be pretty damn sweet.
Yeah, and then here is the some of the pet teaser that they had. So, yeah, it looks like there's going to be a dragon pet, which I would imagine it's going to be highly sought after. But it looks like there's going to be a frog or toad, and this may be so. Like how they talked about, for example, like pets, they don't evolve, but different rarities are going to be more evolved. So my thought process is that this toad may be like a common toad and this toad may be like a rare toad, right?
Right.
So and like this may be the common snail, this may be the rare snail, and this may be like legendary snail or something like that. So I don't know. That was just some of my thoughts when I was looking at this.
Yeah, some great theories. Super exciting. But pets, when pets, get it trending, of course, on Twitter here. No, but
So here's
Seriously, when pets.
here's a question for y'all. If we could have pets or PvE/PvP first, which one would y'all be? Which one would y'all want to see first?
Well, I know we'll get pets first, but I would, I don't know, because it seems like pets are going to have a part of PvE, PvP, so I wouldn't want PvP, PvE without the pets.
Got it. What about? Let me make the question a little more balanced. What about level 10 profession quest versus pets?
Oh, give me the pets, please.
yeah, I'd have to agree. Um,
Okay.
pets, I mean, pets are just
I
exciting,
can't, I
man.
can't take it anymore. I've had my eggs forever. I can't take
You
it.
want to see what's inside, man.
Yeah, pets will definitely, make the economy move, right? It's gonna cause more buying pressure, more exchanges occurring, and the thing that makes economies healthy is the flow of resources. So the more resources that or more things that can be produced to flow resources around, the healthier the game economy is.
Yeah, most definitely. Now we'll transition here into the next topic. We'll get into pages here. The training quests, the rewards in those contain pages, various pages. I believe 1 to 10. Is that correct? With 1 to 9 being available now, and 10 being um, available somehow down the road. Is that right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So obviously through the training quest, you've seen that you can get these pages. They talked about this in the last AMA. Everybody's been wondering, like, do I have to have all 9 pages to be able to get the 10th page, or do I have to have all 9 pages to be able to participate in an exclusive quest, or anything to do with the content lore of the game? Well, they shedded a little light on this. First of all, they're going to make the pages tradable. Not yet. I know, like, the only way people have been able to trade pages is like either through, you know, the honor system.
No, there's a website. Well,
uh,
actually, you're right. You're right. You can only
uh,
send them through the website, so it's still honor system.
yeah, yeah, and they're gonna make them tradable. The team will, and also the function that they talked about having with the pages is that, if you go on a certain quest and it deals with like something related to page 3, then if you have page 3, then you'll get some kind of bonus rewards at the end of that quest. So obviously it will be advantageous to have all 9, but you don't necessarily have to have all 9 to reap some rewards. They didn't rule out that there's going to be exclusive quest if you have all 9. And then like 10th is going to be, they said 10th will be obtained through another quest. So maybe you have to have all 10, maybe to do an exclusive quest. I don't think it's not a for sure thing from the sounds of it. They're not sure if they're going to have an exclusive quest, but they didn't rule it out. So that's what I got from the AMA. Your thoughts, Mega?
Yeah, I think this is awesome. It being actually tradable is huge for the community. Again, going back to the honor system thing. Now, a lot of those sites sometimes are reputable, but you just never know fully unless it's from the team straight up. So this is pretty cool. I think the pages overall, the lore aspect is going to be really cool. Seeing what they turn into as well is pretty interesting. I think this is good.
All right. Squanch, any closing thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get all the pages. I've made a few trades with some people in our Discord, and I'm not as far along as some other people, but I'm trying to get the pages. I want them.
All right.
Yeah, how close are you guys to completing the collection? I mean, I
Not
personally,
even close.
okay.
I only
I,
have
I've
3.
I've got 3 as well.
They were tough to come by when I was doing those training quests, so I'll be honest, I gave up.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, they're not too bad priced in all honesty. If and this the one bad thing is if they do release what they can potentially turn into, more detailed information about that, then and it's something good, then I think the floor's of course gonna only spike up from there. But they're not too bad. I believe last time I checked, they were like 10 jewel a page. Someone said, so that's not awful, but page is pretty cool overall. So next topic here we'll get into is the Gen Zeros. Asked around the Discord server, the jewelers here. I don't think anyone came out and mentioned they were able to get a Gen Zero. Were any of you guys able to obtain one of these coveted Gen Zeros from the raffle?
Was not. Unfortunately, no. I wasn't. I had 8. No, yeah, I think I had 8 PJ non-survivor um, raffle tickets. I heard somebody won and they only had 4 or something like that. So that was exciting to hear that there are finding ways for smaller wallets to still hit on these and win. So that's cool. You know, congrats to everybody who won. Unfortunately, I did not get one, and I don't know if any jewelers did either.
Yeah, I did not, and I didn't have a lot of raffle tickets because I didn't do a lot of summoning. Between the time frame for the snapshot. I did 0 summoning between the time shot for the Gen Zero raffles. And I only sent one PJ hero, and it didn't make it. So I had very slim chance or odds of getting a Gen Zero, and didn't work out for me. And nobody in our Discord, you know, mentioned getting a Gen Zero. People were asking. People were, fingers crossed. But I didn't. Nobody in our Discord, from my knowledge, at least the people that are pretty active, landed a Gen Zero.
Yeah, I mean, I was really expecting at least someone to come out with one. I only sent, I believe the only the raffle tickets I had were from the Perilous Journey as well. Only sent one hero, so didn't have a bunch, but I was really hoping to just, win one and come out and be like, I only sent one hero, and here we go. So it would just be another proof that these small wallets can obtain them still, which they did. I mean, some people came clean and that or came out and showed it on Twitter, and that's amazing to see. I did see one of the raffles, 3 of the top wallets with the most tickets didn't even get a Gen Zero, which was nuts. They had a lot of tickets as well. Just RNG overall, so pretty crazy stuff. But if you're a jeweler and you got a Gen Zero, let us know. We want to hear. If you're not a jeweler, even, why aren't you? No, no. In all seriousness, let us know in the YouTube comments down below. It's always cool to see Gen Zero holders and people just getting rewarded for playing this amazing game. That's what it's all about. That's what we love about GameFi. But I did mention here in the server, you of course can join and become a jeweler. Down below, I'll include the link to become and join the Jewelers Guild server here. So Boomer Curve 500 asks in the server and says new classes and impacts, if any. How are those going to impact PvP and PvE team development? I think we kind of touched on this in our opening segment about
Well,
the new classes,
let's
but yeah, we could touch on it again here briefly. Go more in
yeah
depth.
let's throw this out. Would you add a Seer, Berserker, or Shapeshifter to your PvP team if they were one of your top? If they were as equal in abilities to one of your top 3 heroes.
Hmm. Now for
Oh yeah,
me,
I would add a berserker. Heck yeah.
yeah, I mean they're sweet. For
Yeah,
me,
I like
I
it.
think if they were the same level, I think why not? I mean, they're pretty cool, especially if they fit the idea you have in your head that's going to be needed for trios for PvP or PvE. If they
Mhm.
fit that build, you could trade them out for like a warrior or something, or I don't know, another hero that you may have in your lineup. I mean, why not? Out with the old,
So
in with the new.
So out of the three, which one do y'all like the best? Which one would you most realistically add to your team if it was one of your top three, most powerful heroes? I mean, I'm guessing Squanch is all about the Berserker.
I am, but dude, you know what? I like the shapeshifter too. And if I had a solid shapeshifter, I would definitely have it on my team. I mean, I think the shapeshifter is really cool.
Yeah, it's got like that Wolverine, blade coming out of its hand. At least that's what it looked like to me. I'm trying to scroll down until I hit a shapeshifter. I'm here in
Yeah.
Sarandale's Tavern.
Floor's still pretty high. Looks like the seer for me. I think the
Here it is.
seer is by far the best art, strictly from an art standpoint. I think they're damn awesome. But obviously, I think this being in a class above, I think for PvP purposes, you might have a slight edge with adding a shapeshifter versus a berserker or a seer. But all three, man, look at that row right there. It's just beautiful to see.
Yeah, I got to agree. I obviously cards on the table. I've mentioned this before. I'm more about the magic heroes. I like the seer. This I like the. I think the female seer art is the best art for all the new heroes. In my opinion, I think that the female seer looks the coolest. For it being on my PvP team, I don't know if it'd make the cut because I do have, like my summoners and I do like my sages and they're really high levels. And even if I had a seer at the same level, I don't know, if all things being equal, maybe I throw that, take away one of the sages or one of the summoners and insert a seer. Because right now my 4 strongest heroes are top 5. They're all I've got a summoner that's out of control, much stronger than like all my other heroes. And then I've got right below it, I have like 2 sages, another summoner, and like a ninja that are all kind of like in the same ballpark. But yeah, I would contemplate putting a seer in there as a third option, as a the number 3 hero if it was strong enough. Prefer the female art. But here's something I noticed. The new classes, honestly, they're a little bit cheaper here in Sarandale than they are in Crystal Vale. So in Crystal Vale, the floor, I think when we were over there, was like 99 crystal. And here in Sarandale, they're 69 jewel. So a very nice 69 jewel here in Sarandale. And that kind of brings us to a topic I know that you want to talk about, Squanch. What do you think about the crystal and jewel prices kind of starting to get close to 1-for-1? And then why the hell are these new classes so much cheaper in Sarandale versus Crystal Vale?
Man, so as far as getting to that where I'm looking to buy crystal, it's getting close. I probably would be buying more crystal here if I had better feelings about just like the overall crypto market. But I do think that like crystal is entering or getting much closer to that buy zone. So just something to keep an eye out on. If I do buy any, I'm sure I'll post it in our Discord. But yeah, that is interesting to see the big price gap in Crystal Vale versus Sarandale. I mean, shoot, I wonder if the ones in Crystal Vale are even selling. I don't see how they could be when you could just come over here to Sarandale and buy them cheaper.
Yeah, if they are, that's a huge arbitrage opportunity that you just showed, showcased the community here. But I'm sure with all arbitrage opportunities, if it is like that and they're selling in Crystal Vale, I'm sure that'll be ate up fairly quickly. So, pretty crazy stuff though.
Yeah, just so y'all know, I know this morning I checked the crystal and jewel price. Crystal this morning, I haven't checked it recently. It was at 195, where jewel was at 147. So they were getting very, very close to hitting that 1-for-1.
Yeah, that's got to be the closest it's been since launch, or pretty close,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I don't. The only theories, I can see why CRYSTALVALE, these heroes are more expensive, is because there's just less hero supply in the CRYSTALVALE Tavern. And so when people go to price them, they don't have like there's not as many heroes to compare to when they're pricing it. Like, so for example, when they're pricing it in the CRYSTALVALE Tavern, they're like, oh, the lowest price is 105, so I'll put mine for, 99. When in the Serendale Tavern, there's more, so, people keep on lowering the price to undercut so they can be the floor to get their, to get that hero off their hands. That's the only explanation I have for maybe why that's possibly that big of an arbitrage. Any closing thoughts on that, Mega?
Yeah, no, I mean, not really specifically on that, but I think that's interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it is.
But
All
on that
right.
note, I think that covers everything we intended to get through here today. Just a lot of waiting, a lot of hoping for
Oh,
PvP pets. Go on.
one last question we got for the jewelers. They posted it in our question channel, and this is going to be mostly for you, Squanch. You kind of touched on this. Uh, any secrets that you saw to winning DFK Arena? I know you kind of mentioned a little bit of strategy, but any closing advice you would give to anybody from your small experience to the arena?
Yeah, definitely. I sent over my level 4 mythic summoner and it got whooped up. And the reason why is because it's really strong in intelligence and wisdom, but it's kind of weak in everything else. And I think monks and maybe like dragoons are good classes to go over there because you want a well balanced hero. Overall, mostly, I would say. Because if you're just strong in a couple different stat points, well, then you're going to have to hope they select those stat points when you're in a fight. So, also, I wouldn't recommend battling your heroes out there in the level 5 to 10 bracket unless they're level 10, And same thing with the level 1 through 4 bracket. Make sure they're level 4. That way, because you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage. Somebody who's had more chances at rolling their character up than you, if you're not competing at the top of your weight class, so to speak. So, go play with it. I had fun with it. It's probably not something I'm going to spend any more time on or doing too much on. It seems pretty basic as well. And I don't know. It's not a full game, and you can feel that when you play it.
All right.
Interesting. I didn't know that it was tiered like that. 1 to 5, 5 or what is it, 6 to 10? Then that's pretty cool.
Yep.
In that sense, you'd only really want to send. I mean, in my personal opinion, level 5s, level 4s, maybe level 10s, level
Yep.
9s.
At the top of the class,
Right.
exactly.
I mean, like you said, just most opportunity for level ups, just points, extra health. But still pretty cool all in all. Not a hater by any means, but I do
No,
think
not at all.
right, I think when the DFK team comes out with PvP, we both agree that it's going to be miles ahead, and we can't wait to see that. But overall, I think we covered everything. Thank you, Agentic, for throwing in that extra question we had here in the server as well. But I want to, of course, as always, thank all our wonderful viewers, all our jewelers. We love you guys. Happy Mother's Day again to all the moms out in the kingdom here. And as always, definitely subscribe to our YouTube. We love uploading these podcasts for you guys. And of course, as our schedules allow, we're trying to go for weekly as a lot more stuff comes out, but if not, expect bi-weekly videos from us. Definitely follow all our Twitters. I'll include those down below as well. Do you guys have any final thoughts or anything before I close this thing out?
Nope, that's it. Shout out, jewelers. I'll see you all on Twitter or in the Discord.
Peace, everybody.
We'll see you guys. Have a good one.